We'll start this morning with some big breaking news, positive news for Arsenal.
The training ground at London Colney carried a different kind of energy as Arsenal legend Thierry Henry returned to the club in his new role as assistant coach. It was a moment that fans had long dreamed of, and one that immediately carried the weight of history. Henry, Arsenal's record goal scorer and one of the most iconic players ever to wear the red and white shirt, walked out onto the pitch not as a player this time, but as a coach tasked with shaping the next generation of Gunners. His presence alone set a tone of excitement, respect, and expectation. Players, staff, and even observers around the training ground seemed to recognize instantly that this was not just another routine session, but the beginning of a new era. From the very first whistle, Henry made it clear he was not there to simply observe from the sidelines. He jumped right into the action, blowing his whistle, directing players into positions, and demonstrating movements himself as if he had never been away. He spoke in short, sharp instructions, but also took time to explain the finer details of positioning, timing, and awareness. His charisma radiated across the pitch. Every player seemed to hang on to his words, eager to absorb his knowledge. For Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's current starboy, this was more than a training session. It was a chance to learn directly from a man who once dazzled defenders in the Premier League with speed, finesse, and intelligence. Henry pulled Saka aside at times, speaking quietly to him, gesturing with his hands about where to run, when to release the ball, and how to spot gaps in the opposition's defense. Gabriel Jesus, who thrives on link-up play and sharp movement, received particular attention during finishing drills. Henry, famous for his composure in front of goal, emphasized the importance of confidence and precision rather than rushing a shot. He even demonstrated some of his trademark techniques, gliding past a defender and curling the ball into the corner of the net with effortless elegance. The players clapped and laughed, but more than that, they were inspired. The standard had been set: if Arsenal's all-time top scorer could still do it, then the forwards had to rise to the challenge. Rodrygo, one of the recent signings, looked visibly excited to train under Henry. The Brazilian forward, known for his flair and technical skill, was often smiling as he received direct instructions. Henry encouraged him to use his creativity but reminded him of the importance of discipline and teamwork. For the midfielders, Henry worked alongside Mikel Arteta, focusing on how Martin Ødegaard and Declan Rice could control the rhythm of play, switching the tempo when needed and exploiting spaces. Henry's tactical sharpness surprised some who might have thought he was only about flair and goals. His understanding of transitions, defensive shape, and pressing was clear as he moved players around like chess pieces, showing them exactly how to cut off passing lanes and force errors from the opposition. Defenders like William Saliba and Ben White also benefited from Henry's perspective as a forward. He told them what strikers look for, when they feel most vulnerable, and how to read body language to anticipate runs. These details, coming from someone who terrorized defenders for over a decade, carried an authenticity no textbook could provide. Aaron Ramsdale and David Raya were also given moments of personal coaching, particularly in distribution and decision-making, with Henry stressing the importance of quick thinking to launch counterattacks. What stood out most, however, was the balance Henry struck between intensity and inspiration. He was demanding, expecting full effort and focus, but he also made players laugh, eased their nerves, and built an atmosphere where confidence could grow. Younger players in the squad, many of whom had only seen Henry's highlights on YouTube, were starstruck at first, but soon realized he was approachable and deeply invested in their improvement. He reminded them that he too was once a young player trying to prove himself, and that consistency, humility, and hard work are the true foundations of a great career. Arteta, watching closely, looked pleased with how seamlessly Henry slotted into the coaching staff. The Arsenal boss later described the session as electric, noting how Henry's presence instantly raised the level. The two men work side by side, combining Arteta's meticulous tactical approach with Henry's natural attacking instincts. It was a partnership many fans had dreamed of, Arteta, the brain, and Henry, the heart. Training concluded with a high-tempo small-sided game. To the delight of the players, Henry couldn't resist joining in for a few minutes. The crowd of staff and onlookers around the training pitch erupted when Henry, still sharp despite his age, controlled a ball with ease, glided past a defender, and slotted home with his classic side foot finish into the bottom corner. It was as if time had turned back. The players cheered, clapped, and even bowed jokingly, but deep down, they knew they had just witnessed something special. Social media exploded within minutes of training footage leaking online. Fans flooded timelines with clips, photos, and passionate comments. Many called it a dream come true, others said it felt like Arsenal had found their soul again. Former players also weighed in, with some suggesting that Henry's involvement could be the missing piece to push Arsenal back to the very top of English and European football. The symbolism of Henry's return is undeniable. For years, Arsenal supporters had longed for the connection between the club's glorious past and its promising present. Henry, as a player, defined an era of dominance and artistry. Now, as a coach, he has the chance to inspire a new generation to create their own history. His relationship with the fans ensures that every moment he spends on the touchline will carry weight. His bond with the players ensures that his influence will be more than motivational speeches. It will be felt in the tactical execution, the mentality, and the belief that Arsenal can once again conquer the biggest stages. As the sun set on London Colney that day, the buzz did not fade. Staff members spoke with excitement about the intensity Henry brought. Players left training with smiles, sharper minds, and a renewed sense of purpose. Supporters across the world continued to share their emotions online, already imagining Henry on the touchline at the Emirates Stadium, standing next to Mikel Arteta, both of them orchestrating the team's rise. It may only have been the first training session, but it already felt like a turning point. Thierry Henry has returned home, not just as a legend but as a mentor, a guide, and a catalyst for something bigger. For Arsenal, the king is not only back, he is ready to shape the future.